And so, oh, hi. So it's Friday. Let's give this a shot. We got this thing, the journal for Friday, June 27, 2025. The star of the week is Columbia Volunteer Fire Company, which is the Osceola company. Let's see, and that'll be because 4th of July week's coming up, which means next Friday will be the big parade. I think things will be starting Sunday with the car show, and then they got the carnival all week and bands and stuff. So, anyway, back to have a front page article. 103rd Fireman's Fair returns to Osceola this week. Oh, yeah, they'll have fireworks at the end of the week, too. Okay. By the way, I saw a good comment on Facebook this morning, a little meme, I guess. It said, the weather went from 100 to 63 like it just saw a state cup. Think about it. I know some of you are a little slow. Here we have an article that says, Forest has some little lambs. Locals flock to Lori Hall's farm to enjoy animals' antics. Yeah, okay, whatever. We live in the country. Of course there's animals. And we've got advertisements. Here, I'll just flash that at you. There you go. You can see it there. I can't see what I'm showing you. But anyway, there's a great big quarter page thing about the 4th of July. If you're anywhere in the area, yep, Sunday is the car show. Those are always good. Monday, you got a DJ. Tuesday, another DJ. Wednesday is Kids Day at the carnival. And fire truck rides. That's always fun for the kids. I remember one year, somebody said to me, back when I was still with the fire company, they said, why isn't you just have fire truck rides for the kids? Why not adults? I said, yeah, I see no reason adults can't go. You'd be surprised how many adults showed up for the fire truck ride. And there's also a band on Wednesday. On Thursdays, a band. Fridays, of course, the parade starts at 11. And that night, there's something called Autumn's Jukebox Duet. On Saturday is Hitchcock Railway. I know they're a big local band, been at it for a while. We got Nippy's fireworks that night. Oh, and the raffle drawing. First prize is $10,000. Used to always give away cars. I think it's easier for the company, and I think most people, they like just getting the cash. Wow, it looks like a lot of obituaries this week. Richard F. Dick Couturier, born in 39. Ethel Lillian Kippert, born in 42. Willis S. Wid Kerfoot, born in 33. Jennifer Lee Warnovic, born in 54. And I'm in trouble reading. Lenny Joe Amy, born in 64. And if any of those sound familiar to you, you can go online, I'm sure, and do some Googling and find out more. There's one more on this page. Margaret Marge Hey, we got police report this week. Didn't fire fast enough. Matthew Scotchmer, 41 of Phillipsburg, and Harlan Stone, 25 of Clearfield, were detained and arrested for fleeing state police and for drug possession. Okay, it's a didn't flee fast enough, not different, didn't fire. All different. Next we have crypto scam. Wonder if this is going to be about Trump. A 45-year-old Hotzdale man reported that he had invested approximately $72,631. Approximately $72,631. I don't know if you're not following me there. I just get a kick out of them saying approximately. I mean, wouldn't approximately be 73, 74, even 75? No, 73,621, approximately. Because maybe it was 73,621 and 15 cents. I'm sorry, I will move on. He'd invested approximately that much money into a cryptocurrency account, but he later found the account unavailable. He reported it to the state police that he was pressured by a Facebook group to transfer money multiple times to various cryptocurrency wallets before his money was removed by unknown actors. He was pressured by a Facebook group. Now, I know we should have sympathy for this 45-year-old man who lost $72,631 approximately. But it's crypto, first of all. I mean, it practically screams crooked. He's only 45. If it said 83, you'd go, oh, I hate when people scam old people like that. Because pretty soon I'm going to be one of those 80-year-old people, but luckily I won't have any money to get scammed. But also, he was pressured by a Facebook group. I say screw him. The guy doesn't deserve to have the money. He's just stupid. It's just, I'm editorializing here. They don't put it in the paper. But, hey, guy, hey, 45-year-old Hotzdale man, you're an idiot. You were pressured by a Facebook group to send money to crypto. Let us move on. Outback Off-Road. Robert Schottner Jr., 20 of, you want to guess where he's from? Morrisdale, was driving a 2005 Subaru Outback on Pierce Hollow Road in Cooper Township when he went off the road and hit a tree and then embankment, causing the Outback to overturn. Schaffner was not wearing his seatbelt and suffered minor injuries. They took him to the hospital. We've already done enough editorializing and let that one go. Make a run for the border. Jennifer Gallagher, 50 of Osceola, was driving her Kia Soul in Phillipsburg. In Phillipsburg Bigler Highway near Taco Bell. As she was leaving Taco Bell. Okay. This is more about the writing than the people. She was driving near Taco Bell as she was leaving Taco Bell. Is it me or is it them? It's them, right? She made a left-hand turn onto the highway and hit a 2017 Ford Escape driven by Carol Duke, 73 of Clearfield, which was headed westbound. No one was injured, but both vehicles were disabled. 4-car pileup. Joshua McCoy, 19, of Morrisdale, was driving a 22 Dodge Charger north Route 53 in Morris Township. He failed to see other vehicles stopped for a turning vehicle. McCoy struck a 2008 Toyota driven by Gerald and I think it says Parizo, 32 grass flat, which hit a 2014 Nissan Road driven by Barry Duck Jr., 40 of Pottersdale, which then hit a 2016 Ford Focus driven by Hannah Irwin, 21 of Phillipsburg. No one was injured, but McCoy was cited for following too closely. I think he was lucky he was only cited for that. Maybe they'll add more stuff on later, but I think his parents should be cited for a 19-year-old having a Dodge Charger to drive. But that's just me. I think until you're at least 22, you shouldn't be allowed to drive anything more than like an old pickup truck. Hey, you lost something. By the way, hey is spelled H-A-Y. They're always so clever with their headlines. A flatbed truck hauling bales of hay was traveling southbound on Route 53 in Bigler. Tori Sneeden, 34 of Morrisdale, was driving northbound in a Chevy Traverse. As the vehicles passed each other, 5 hay bales fell from the flatbed and hit Sneeden's Traverse. Sneeden turned around and tried to catch the flatbed, but was unable because her vehicle was leaking fluid and had sustained moderate damage. Sneeden and her passenger, Andrew Stagoski, 38 of Phillipsburg, were not injured. The investigation continues. DUI, Dylan Hull, 32 of Phillipsburg, was arrested on Woodland Bigler Highway in Bradford for DUI. Okay, try to get up here and get more light. Where does it get my light? Unsafe passing. Lucinda Gilbert, 55 of Port Matilda, was driving a 2019 Mazda eastbound on 322 near Hannah Furnace. Victoria Waseski, 66 of Morrisdale, when Morrisdale is back with a bang this week, was in the passenger seat. Gilbert attempted to pass on the 2-lane and hit Waseski head on. The Waseskis were transported to the hospital. Gilbert had minor injuries. Okay. Harassment on 10th Street. Catherine Anderson, 42 of Phillipsburg, and Patrick Raffner, 18 of Phillipsburg, were charged with harassment after a domestic incident involving a mother and 14-year-old boy. Okay. Oh, kids, give them back. 4 construction signs belonging to Glenn Hallbaker were stolen from along Route 53 near Key Largo Restaurant. Great fish dinners there, by the way, in Morris Township. Anyone with information about the whereabouts of the sign should contact state police. I gotta tell you, that is a heinous crime, and it is dangerous. People should not be stealing any sort of traffic signs. And I will tell you, being that the statute of limitations is long over, my college dorm room, the walls were covered with various signs. I think back on it, and I think the one that said, caution, bridge unsafe, maybe was not a good idea. I'll also mention, while we're at it, while I was in college, me and a couple of guys went on a road trip. It was a fraternity thing. We went all over Pennsylvania. And we were going through Intercourse, PA, and it was like 2 in the morning. And it's like, hey, we have got to get a welcome to intercourse sign. And we stopped. And I got to tell you, obviously, we were not the first punks to think of that, because the signs of intercourse were on steel poles and they had bolts about this big around welded on them. There was no way you were going to steal a welcome to intercourse sign. Off the road on 53, Tracy Shaw, 56 of Osceola, was traveling north on 53 when she went off the road and hit a guardrail. She was transported by ambulance. You know, why are there so many of these that it's like they were just driving down and they went off the road and they flipped their car? And I mean, you don't want to assume anything about the people, but they never say anything in them about, oh, they were dodging a deer or something. They just went off the road. And when it says they went off the road and hit a tree and hit an embankment and rolled, you're thinking they were traveling pretty fast too. Okay, license to crash. Cody Houtz, I think it says Houtz, 32 of Houtsdale, spelled differently, by the way, was driving a 2009 Pontiac G5 on Valley Road in Boggs Township when he went off the roadway due to suspected speeding. Well, at least now they're at least saying something in there. He traveled along the berm for 10 to 15 yards before re-entering the roadway. Houtz overcorrected and went off the other side of the road and hit a tree. He spun 180 degrees and hit a second tree before coming to a final rest. Houtz, now this, I guess it is spelled like Houtsdale, Houtz, was uninjured but was cited for driving while his license was suspended or revoked. Okay. It's funny, right after I did that little rant about them never saying why they go off the road, that one says because he was speeding. Let's see, we got the Sandy Ridge Sportsman's Club, Tuesday Night League. The big shooter, 50 out of 50 targets. Merrill Timchak, who I think was last week, but also Scott Holdren, Rob Boscombe, Tom Davis, I think he might have been mentioned last week too, is like 49, and Brett Romanani. Well, I'm not even, what does it say? Well, it says targets, so I guess they're stationary targets. I tried skeet shooting once, and those little bastards are too fast for me. And I mean, I've seen people hit skeet, and they don't look like they're that tasty anyway. There was okay. Well, you know what? I'm just going to take a picture of this and put it up here when I edit. There's a local mural artist, Colton Hansen, recently used his talent to embellish the Osceola house. And it shows him standing next to what he did. By the time you watch this, this should be on the screen. Okay, too bad it's just a black and white picture. By the way, if you live in the area, the Osceola house, which for years was known as the Osceola Hotel, food is excellent. The service is great. Prices aren't bad. Highly recommended. Okay, here we have Star of the Week, Columbia Fire Department. But actually, it's not just about the 4th of July week. They rescued a dog from a roof. Rescue took place back in May, okay. Anyway, dog was out on the roof and they went up and got it. And again, instead of trying to do this, I'll insert the picture for you. And here's a memory lane for you. This picture was taken between 86 and 87. Features the legendary Wallace Kephart with one of his rigs outside Kephart Trucking. I'm not going to show you the picture because it says memory lane. If it's 86, no. If you want to give me a history picture, you got to go back. Here's Scout Troop 44 participated in a flag retirement ceremony at Breezy Hill Campground near Prince Gallitzin, which is pretty far, not real far, but it's half-hour drive. Northern Armed Forces Days. And again, I'll insert the picture for you. Now here, if you see this, there's a picture for you. Who doesn't love watermelon? If anybody puts in comments, I don't like watermelon, I'm sorry, we cannot be friends. But we got watermelon, $2.99 each. I remember when it was a nickel. Maybe the bicolor corn is $3.99 a dozen. I remember when it was a quarter. I don't know. Actually, I think when I was a kid, watermelons probably were 25 or 50 cents for a whole watermelon. You got, let's see, Heinz ketchup, 2 for $6. And Sweet Baby Ray, the only barbecue sauce you should buy, $1.99. And I think that wraps it up for this week. I'll see you next time. This is your old buddy Muckster signing off. Remember, bye-bye and bye.
And that's the way it is.